Okay, for this segment, we're going to look at painting the sides of our canvases and kind of making them a little bit decorative. So the earlier we painted the backgrounds and we carried our paint over onto the sides. So now we're going to look at what can you do to make your side interesting. What can you do? And there are a lot of different things that you can do. So one of them is you can, especially if you have done two different colors on the background, you can just carry it over and you can leave it plain. Another thing that you can do is you can use one of the other techniques that we learned earlier. So in this case, I've got a sponge, and so I'm going to kind of do some little sponge designs on the sides of it, and that is, looks cute. Another thing that you can do is, depending on what your design is that you're painting, you can do something that coordinates with that. You can do some circles. Paint some circles on the sides is always cute. You can do, and just kind of space out the circles along the length of the canvas. Gotta put some glasses on so I can see a little better up close. And so that adds some interest to it. Something else that you can do with another color is, let's come over here to the turquoise side. So I can get a color and I can paint some thin stripes. And paint those down the length of it. Depending on the color that your background was, you might need to go over it twice. So just go over, and it's always better to have two light coats than it is to have one heavy coat. So I've got some stripes there. We'll just leave this here and we'll come back in a second and make them a little bit darker. The other thing is that instead of thin stripes, you can go with some thick stripes and then leave about the same amount of space before your next stripe. Get about the same, and it gives it more of a checkerboard pattern. So that looks pretty cool. So those are some options there. And let's see, let's kind of let those go for a moment, and let's do some different techniques over here with these green ones. So let's see, let's go over here. So I'm just gonna use yellow in that because that's for all of these, because that's the color that I have the most of on my palette. I can do some zigzags down the length of the canvas side. So whatever the vibe is of your painting, your design, might kind of tell you what you would want to put on the sides of your canvas. And you can always just leave it plain too. So, but that's kind of interesting to have some zigzags going down. Back over here with this turquoise, even just having the contrasting turquoise to the navy blue that was here, whether the navy blue was solid or whether the navy blue had this marbling that we did with the sponge. Either way, having a contrasting color on the side is always interesting. And it doesn't have to be a color that is in the painting itself. If there is a contrasting color that you think would just kind of pop with the color of the background, the painting, go for it. That is good. Another design that you can do instead of dots is, let's come back over and get this navy blue. I can do a little heart shape. So like one of the designs that I have is a gnome with holding like a love letter. So you can do some shapes. So I've seen some people do hearts where they get a bigger brush and they kind of do a like that. It was kind of a messy heart, but you can do something like that. Another design, you could do some X's down the length. Just pretty much whatever wherever your imagination takes you on this, and you can do some different designs that way. So it just makes the painting interesting, hanging on your wall. So the sides become part of the painting, and just something to have fun with. And there's also nothing wrong with leaving it just a solid color if you want. All right, so hope this information helps. See you later. Bye-bye.